Hey, so now that we're done creating the first clothes that we want to make for our player, the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is go on our code tab. We're going to go ahead and go to this original code, and we're going to disconnect the show from the when I receive green flag, and we're just going to delete the rest. The next thing we want to do is we actually want to move this shirt exactly where we want it to show up. So maybe I want my shirt to be here. Now that I'm done moving it, I want to make sure that I save this X and Y position. That way it'll always snap here. So I'm going to go inside of the Blue Motions tab. I'm going to add a Go to X and Y block and make sure that it matches up to my blue block, which it does. So that's awesome. The next thing I'm going to do is go into Control, add a forever. And then I'm going to add an if, then, else. Instead of the diamond shape, I'm going to go into Sensing, add touching mouse pointer, and change this to base. So if it is touching the base, which is our player, we want it to snap exactly where our player is. So we're going to add the original player spot where we traced the shirt or whatever we made from, which is 0, 0. So I'm going to add a go to X, Y, and change X to 0 and our Y to 0. And then the next thing I'm going to do is else. So if it's not touching our base, then we want it to go back to where it was. Now that we're done with this, just in case we ever want to restart the game afterwards, so after we're done dressing our player, maybe we want everything to go back to where it was, we're going to go ahead and scroll down a little bit. We're going to go into the yellow events tab, and we're going to add when space key pressed. And then we're going to add the same block where our position is for our article of clothing that we made. So I'm just going to right click and duplicate this and add this at the bottom. So now that we're done doing this, the process is going to be the exact same way for anything else. So take your time to create 2 other pieces of clothing that you want your character to have. Make sure you take your time designing it. Remember to make sure that you're first duplicating the base, drawing it on top of it. You're not moving where it is in the actual costume. You're going to move it inside of this actual game scene, and that's where you're going to get your X and Y position for it.